ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the channel. Be you Clydeside, Stateside or worldwide, it's time to rise up because your boys and girls of the AFN international family are back. So it's time, once again, to step in to the locker room because we've got a good game for you tonight. With the most, the thrill, the Scottish psychopath, or as called by some, the saltire vampire. And we are going to be bringing you all the up-to-the-minute action. I am joined by my newest brother and South London's finest, Deano away Daze. And it's time to watch your three Lions, my boy. England versus Ghana tonight.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Yeah, like I said, I watched the World Cup on the basis that certain players don't get injured. So when August comes, I can be like, right, no Arsenal players are injured. Excellent, good. So when I've seen the starting lineup, and I've seen that Saka's not playing. So every minute that Saka don't play is good for Arsenal. So yeah. That's where I see it.
I guess it's a different way of looking at it. A lot of people are just thinking about national pride, and you're just like, nah, I don't want him to get hurt. That's pulling on that cannon.
Yeah.
The boys are just stepping out onto the pitch now. It should be a good game tonight.
It should be. Should be pretty interesting. Where are they playing?
Boston.
Are they playing Boston?
Funnily enough. Yeah. So we're sorry we didn't leave you any beer. We must apologise for that.
If there's no more beer, we can move on straight to the spirits. Just move straight on to the rum. That's good for me. I'll just play. Yeah.
I hate to be a cliche, but I'm more of a whiskey man myself.
Hey, whiskey, rum, brandy. Hey, just keep it coming. Just keep it coming. Just keep it coming.
So your order at the bar is yes, then?
Yeah, just whatever's in the glass, and just if it's a good drink, then let's go. You know, just drink responsibly. I just say to everyone, just drink responsibly. Just drink responsibly.
Everything in moderation.
That's right. Especially in that heat, I can imagine how hot it must be out there.
Oh yeah.
Especially after yesterday's game, I was up until, geez, what time did I go sleeping in after that France game? I fell asleep halfway through it, the second half, because, torrential rain and everything, but,
Yeah, man. After I stopped in, showed you some love, I was like, I'll let it run in the background, and if the rain delay doesn't go, I'll try and at least keep on in the background in case there's any good chat. But no, I crashed out just before half-time. I was out.
I crashed out. I mean, I stayed up a little bit, but then, by the time it got to, I think, the 60th minute, I was gone. And then I was woken up 3 hours later because of we got our own little thunderstorms this morning. So, we had loud thunderstorms at 4:30 this morning. It was actually crazy. So that happened.
Not had the weather too bad. We've had quite obtrusive, quite obnoxious levels of heat today. So that's why I'm not rocking the Falcons cap or even the headscarf today. I'm just like, nah, it's too warm for that nonsense.
It's too hot today. It's too hot.
You've heard the legends of Scottish summer. I think this is one of the 6 days a year that we get.
Just like down here, this is our weakest summer. This nice little heat wave, and I think tomorrow we got a red warning now for tomorrow on Thursday. So it's going to be really high. It's going to be in the late 30s, I think they said. So looking for. I mean, I don't mind the heat, but I know it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be really, really nasty for a lot of people tomorrow. I just say to everyone that just carry a lot of water with you. That's all you can do.
Yeah, man. This is the thing about tonight's game as well. I don't really see Ghana posing too much of a threat.
No.
I think I says to my fiance earlier on in the tournament, if you guys could handle Croatia, I saw you guys coming out 9 points from 9. But yeah, slow to start, so I think England will be wanting to obviously get on the score sheet a lot quicker, get going a lot quicker. But there's no reason they can't get another win tonight.
Mhm.
Because that round of 32 is shaping up pretty nicely now.
Yeah, yes. I mean, well, this group is nothing. Yeah, I'm not sure what to. I don't know. This group, I don't know what to sometimes feel. I don't. England just they come out really weird. Like they just. I think if they cut, like you say, if they come out really fast paced, then yeah, then okay. But sometimes they just start off really slow and like they look really tedious sometimes in some games.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
like from what I've seen, and this is only just from a couple of bits and pieces I'd watched your warm up games. When you guys pull Harry Kane back ever so slightly and have him playing almost that kind of off midfielder role, your offensive production just dwindles away. There's no the spark goes out, so to speak.
mm,
But no, if Kane's ready to go, it should be an easy win today, I think.
I think they should get something, at least get a couple of goals. Ghana haven't really got to. I mean, they haven't really got anyone really that sticks out. I mean, yeah, they've got Thomas Partey in there, and I think Ayu's played. I don't know if Ayu's played, but they're like older now, and
Mm-hmm.
I think England got a lot more quality than what they do.
Yeah,
Personally,
definitely. And more depth as well, so they could get it done in the second half as
yeah,
well. And that's what worries me about. I think we were talking about this on the last watch party. Do you know the depth of the French side is terrifying.
yeah,
The Spanish are okay in terms of depth, but the French, it's just like that's on a whole nother level.
yeah. And I think they done that on purpose yesterday. They played. I think Bacola started. Dewey, I don't even think he even came on. So they could afford to rest, I think, players up yesterday. Defensively, they're very sound defensively. Midfield take it, they've got, I don't know where these players have come from. They've just really just, I look at them and even then they've left some players out. So I just,
Quite a lot of notable players. That's like
mm,
looking at the side. I mean, when you start seeing names here like young Anderson and things like that, and you see some of the names that were left off, it's quite surprising.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, Ayu's playing. Gideon Mensah.
he's getting old now, isn't he? So
Yeah,
I
32,
can't.
33, I think, at least.
I would say England should win by get a few goals here, but then this is the type of game where they'll just win 1-0 and then that's enough. So
Yeah. I can see there being every reason to coast tonight.
they just say that just don't concede.
Don't do what Germany did. I will just sit back and coast tonight, boys, and then you concede the first goal and have to hit the accelerator.
Imagine. I mean, Bishop, just get the ball to Cade and he'll get a couple of goals. If he gets a couple of goals here and then they got Panama in the last group game. I mean, last time that England played Panama was it the 2018 World Cup and Harry Kane scored like 6 goals against them or something like that.
It was something crazy. Like I dread to think what's coming. So it could be a bloodbath.
You can
Here's
see the
going,
intent
ladies and
already.
gentlemen. If anyone is tuning in on X on YouTube, we are just about to reach kick-off here with the three Lions taking the start of the first half here. As far as I can, yep. In England, of course, just 90 minutes away from the round of 32. Winning you're in situation. And we're off.
You're about 57 seconds behind.
I'm just going to
Okay.
double check. I'm up to. That's as close as I can get. Where does that leave me? 48 seconds, 50 seconds.
Yeah, I'm on a minute 20 now.
I'm only about 20, 30 seconds behind you then. We can make that work.
That's cool, that's cool. Yeah, you can see what I can see what England did already. They're just Ghana got everyone behind the ball. England just they got a probe.
Mm-hmm.
Ghana gone
And
foot.
this is a trend we've seen across the tournament as well. We've seen it yesterday with Austria against Argentina.
Yep.
We've seen it a little bit from Iraq against France as well. The smaller teams are wanting to sit back more in their own half and let these teams come onto them. But with some teams, you just can't let them do that.
Mm-mm.
I think they're trying to do what they did against Panama and have that kind of snatch and grab on the counter attack. But England are too well organised, I feel. They're not going to fall for that, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just setting the tone for the game now. Ghana in what 4-5-1,
Mm-hmm.
4-4-2. So they just I already know how this game's gonna go. Basically, Ghana are just saying, look, it's down to you to come break us down. We'll just catch on the counter attack.
Mm-hmm. I think it's potentially going to be another to the casual viewer, another low energy one, because obviously for all the history that was made in that Argentina game, I feel like it was very flat. I don't know if you agree with me, brother, but I just feel like outside of those moments of Messi brilliance, it was a very vanilla game.
I think after a while, Argentina just realised that they didn't really have to do too much per se. I think they just thought, let's just get the goals and then just kill the game. Just make it drabby and just pass it around for a bit. I think that's what they wanted to do. A lot of teams just want to keep going. They want to get as many goals as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it entertaining, but sometimes you have to just hold off and just say, look, we can do this in the later rounds when we get there.
Yeah.
As long as you get through the group stage, then you're all right.
Yeah, because I mean, even with the hydration breaks, it is really, really hot over there right now. So you start to worry about simple things like cramps and things like spasms and things of that nature. So, I mean, you don't want any to risk any silly injuries for sure.
Okay, Ghana got a ball bit now. That's offside.
Yep. Because I feel like a lot of your young guys will see the field against Panama just because you'll be wanting to use your depth more to prepare for the round of 32 and rest your starters and things of that nature, I think.
They should do that.
Yeah, would make
sense. There's a good couple I think I would just play if they win this game. But just change the entire 11. Just you bought what was it, 26-man squad? Just use them up. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, as we said a little earlier, it's a very, very young squad, so it'll be great to get some of these guys reps in a World Cup as well. There's not many types of football experience that can compare with that, I guess, going against the best in the world. So it's definitely a good time to do it.
Of course, a foul.
And that is one point. How have you felt about the officiating so far about during this tournament, bro? I feel like it's been fairly consistent through most of it.
I've actually been, I thought, I was very skeptical about it. I was going to be a little bit of a cynic with all the rules that they brought in. I thought it was going to be a bit dodgy of some decisions, but it's actually been it's actually been all right. Can't really have too much to complain about with it, to be fair. I think a lot of officials have just allowed the game to flow. Some of them are just allowed, like, they can get away with certain things and they just got on with it. But you know, compared to some of the things I've seen in past, where it's in Europe and everything like that, I think this has actually been okay. It's been pretty decent. Not really, no one's really speaking too much in regards to the officiating to say that's been that controversial. Like, it's more or less been on point with a lot of them, especially with any sort of penalty claims that came up in like the one yesterday with Messi, and then there was a couple of others around, and I thought, they might be a bit dodgy there. And you know, even the one against, I think the one with Canada, where Canada wanted the penalty because I thought initially it was a penalty, but it was actually a free kick, but it still got scored an opportunity, so they sent the guy off, and I thought, okay, they made a correct choice there. So, you know, it's been good to see. That's, you know what I mean. It's not been one of those things, like I said, where the officiating has been spoken about constantly. You know, so it's a breath of fresh air to see that. Just get on with the game.
The referee had a case to, like, I know there's a lot of people out here in the Scottish media saying that they weren't happy with the officiating towards the end of the game with ourselves in Morocco. I can see it both ways. It was physical, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that one decision was going to make or break that game. We needed to be more decisive in front of goal. I just feel like that was the be all and end all. Morocco were too well organised at the back. That was it.
Yeah. Actually, I spoke to my colleague briefly today about it, and who went out there. And he just said, you know, just try and get a point against Brazil, because how they played was, you know, well, he said that it was quite a bit poor, but, you know, when you're playing a team like Morocco, who are very organised like that, it's always going to be tough, you know. Yeah. But he was saying similar to yourself in regards to Che Adams. He thought, you know, why have him on when you've got, I can't remember the person name that he said, but I know there's someone in the squad who's a bit bigger than what he is physically.
Lawrence Shankland.
I think that's the person he mentioned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him that he mentioned. I just thought, you know, if you want to have some sort of physicality in there, then why not? But
yeah,
he himself said, I think so too, where he said, the striking options, you know, it's kind of limited. So
yeah,
I
feel like that's definitely a point where we're relying a lot on the wings. And we saw that even in the win against Haiti. Obviously, McGinn got the goal. You had Gannon Doak excelling off the right wing as well, but there wasn't a lot of push through the middle, and that's what gets me. Both teams have started quite quickly tonight. It's hopefully a good sign.
Yeah, England just want to dominate. They want to dominate the possession. They're trying to get the ball forward. They're getting the ball forward. Declan Rice. Ooh.
Nice little move. Don't think long ball's the way to go necessarily.
They're doing it more so over to Madueke. But it's a bit predictable with him, though. He'll cut on the inside. But England just camped in there. They're camped in there. They just camped up in their half. And, you know, I don't think Piff is going to be seeing too much of the ball.
No, I don't think he's going to be tested too much. Ghana may get one, possibly, but I think that'll be it for tonight.
Yeah. That's too easy. Good football.
What I feel about England as well, and you can maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like for being ranked as highly as they are, it's because they have a basic complement of everything to a high level, a pretty high level. They don't excel in any one area. I just feel like they're pretty solid all around the squad. I would surmise.
This is something that I've always said about with them. With England, it should just be about the format of a team where we just continuously read and go on about seeing individuals. So I can see why he's left out the likes of Cole Palmer and Foden and Trent and Maguire. I can see why he's left them out. He just, he doesn't want to have that sort of disruption within or disharmony within the squad. When Livermore got injured, for example, you automatically think he's going to bring in someone like Trent. But a lot of fans were saying, well, why is he bringing in Shabala? I said, well, because isn't it obvious? It's like he doesn't like the player. He doesn't fit in with what he wants. And I think it was Jimmy Floyd Hesper that said it on TalkSport. He actually came out and said the exact same thing. He doesn't fit what the manager wants. It doesn't mean that he's disregarding saying that the likes of Trent and Cole Palmer and Phil Foden are bad players, because they're not. They're good players. But if you know what you want in terms of the team that you've seen, and you know what the type of players you want in there, then what's the problem?
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
as long as you're speaking from a tactical or schematical standpoint, then I see no issue whatsoever.
That's exactly what it is, and I've had this discussion with so many people, a few England fans where some of them actually come out and said, like, it's good that he's done it. It's good to see something like that, because some players in the past have been picked purely because of the team that they've played for, like not because of their ability or how good they are. That's gone on for years. But the fact that he's kind of broken that stigma by bringing who he's brought in, it's kind of fresh to see. He wants someone to come in, go in, take on the fullbacks, cross the ball in, knowing that Harry Kane is going to be in the box in the right area at the right time.
Yeah,
you're not necessarily going to get that with Phil Foden and Cole Palmer, who don't cross, because they're more central with what you're looking for. So when you've got players on the wing like Madueke and Saka, who can take on players and cross it in, and then you've got the likes of Rashford, they can all do that, and I can see why, and when the team was picked, I was kind of shocked to see them not in it. But then I started thinking, well, you guys, they were kind of injured like throughout some of the season.
Yeah.
And Foden was, I thought he scored. Foden nearly, he was on the bench. Shirky took over. Shirky came on just took over from him. So if you're not getting played by the club, then England manager's going to look at that and think, well, if you're not getting picked for Man City, you're not playing for Man City, why should I pick you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you play for Man City and you're Phil Foden doesn't mean I should pick you. Because the crazy thing is, all them people who have said that that Maguire didn't get picked and Trent and all these other guys didn't get picked. I thought, okay, but what if this team was to do the thing that you've been wanting and they win the World Cup? What would you then say with that team? Because I know for a fact that those are the same people who would then be saying we should have a bank holiday tomorrow. Yeah,
well,
so,
you do hear a lot of that complaining until it switches for them, and you hear the narrative change real quick. But I can see a lot of the motivation behind putting a squad like this together. As you say, it in no way takes anything away from Foden or Maguire or Trent as players. They're still fine players. But I mean, if you're feeling that he's being biased, it's maybe because of how you feel about certain players and yourself, is what I would suggest. Because if you really take a minute and think about it, obviously you come back to what you said, and that's obviously that you really need to think about what you want to do as a team and as a squad. So yeah, I mean, I've no problem with it.
I mean, Will, I can give you an example now, because in past World Cups, the likes of, when I see the likes of Haaland, Mbappe, Kane, Messi, and now Ronaldo scoring goals now, there's been past World Cups, like last 2-3 World Cups, where these guys weren't scoring goals. Like they were struggling to score. And now all of them a sudden, they're all coming out of nowhere. They're all scoring hat-tricks and braces out of nothing. Now, I can play devil's advocate with Harry Maguire at 34. 34, how old is he? 34? And
Ronaldo.
Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
Now, set piece wise, Harry Maguire is probably one of the best you can ask for in terms of defensive set pieces and offensive set pieces. But if you're going to have a 33, 34-year defender like Harry Maguire, who's big and he's not the quickest, and he's going up against the likes of Mbappe and Messi, even Ronaldo, and all these guys who've still got a bit of nippiness about them. And they play England in the later stages, would you really want to see him go up against those?
No, it would potentially be a pretty long day, to be honest. And even Haaland, although he's a bigger body, he can move. He's got a very, very long stride, and he can catch you quite nastily on the break. So when you start looking at teams like Norway and France and Argentina and what they can do to you, it makes even more sense, especially as you say, as he gets up there in age. With that being said, though, I don't know how Messi's still pulling it off, but I think he's quite a singular specimen. I think we've found that out many times by now.
I like what Argentina have done with Messi, because before it was just a case of just like sticking him on the right hand side, but now they're playing him as a cam now, and he's now even. And what's more scary is the fact he actually looks more dangerous now than what he was 5 years ago, and he's turning 39 I think tomorrow. So a 39-year-old is doing that now. They're playing to his strengths. He can still dribble. He ain't got as much pace, but there was a part where I just see him running still, and I thought, okay, he can still move a bit, but his dribbling's not gone anywhere. He's still got the dribbling. He's still the one. When you watch him, he's always looking. He's looking for someone who's going to make that mistake. He always makes for them make the first move. He's always like, and all the time I've watched Messi, he's always analysing, just looking around, looking at who's around him, looking at this player, looking at that player constantly.
And I'm thinking, you can always see him, like, even when he's not involved directly with the ball, he's pointing and he's shouting, and obviously he's got Lautaro Martinez behind him to do a lot of that running and quick ball play. But I mean, the way, like, you can totally tell how Argentina runs, and it's clearly through number 10.
Because his anticipation is second to none, and it's like it's like a game of chess with him. It's like he's already thought 5 or 6 moves ahead. He already knows how things are going to go. When he was at Barcelona, he was master of that. There was times I just watched him and thought, how the hell have you done that? Like, where's that come from? And he still to this day mesmerizes me. I feel, like, where's that come from? Like, what's going on here? Like, it's just like,
just truly,
this isn't right. Like, It's
Like he's
amazing, but
genuinely
then
maybe the first player since Ronaldinho, who's my all-time favourite, to just that I can just put on a highlight reel and just sit there and be like,
yeah,
"What? Come on, man!"
yeah. I watched. I mean, I got. I was at work today. There's a young boy. There's a young boy that works with us. He he's a big Ronaldo fan, Cristiano fan, and he just says, yeah, he doesn't look beyond anyone when it comes to Ronaldo. And he says he's never like Messi. And I said to him, okay, you're young, because the one thing I will say, I will never pick between the two of them. Although I've always just, if I would have to pick, I would have to pick Messi. But I've never had to pick between the both of them because I think both of them are admirable players. But I said to him, you can't say that Ronaldo's the best without having some form of admiration for Messi or vice versa. You can't say that one is the greatest of all time and then say the other one's poor. I will not accept that. I remember watching these two about 10, 11 years ago, and they both scored, I think they scored about 45, 50 goals in one season. It got to a point where when Real Madrid and Barcelona were playing, one would play one day or a little bit early in the day, Ronaldo would score a hat-trick, and then Barcelona would play the same day or the next day, and Messi would do the exact same thing. It was so ridiculous that they were both doing the same thing with each other. And it then stemmed up to the whole Ballon
I
d'Or
feel like
thing.
it pushed both players to be better, and I feel like every Batman needs his Bane, so to speak. So I mean, you go back and you've got your Pele versus Eusebio. You bring
Yeah.
it forward to like George Best versus Maradona, and so on and so forth, up to like well, when Cristiano was very, very young and Ronaldinho was at his prime, that was the question because of just how technically skilled they were.
Yeah.
And then obviously now we're talking about Ronaldo and Messi, but I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong in being one of the greatest of all time. Because again, that's a very subjective conversation when you really get into it and it's what you're looking for.
It is. It is. See, Ghana now start to get comfortable. So this is England. England sometimes are like Arsenal. They, it gets to a point where, with me, if after 25 minutes Arsenal haven't scored, I know how the game's going to go. We're now the 23rd minute, England haven't scored yet. They pressed for the first 10, 15 minutes, but now Ghana have now grown into the game. So I already know how this game's going to go now. Like, I still think England will win, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as what I think all of us were thinking it was going to be. But and that's something that I think England need to watch out for when they get to the later stages of this competition, especially if they do come up against the likes of France or Spain or even Germany. And if they come up against any of those teams later on down the line, that's where they've got to be very mindful. Because if they continue doing this, then they're going to get picked apart.
Yeah. Especially because of the style of play that Spain run. They hold it in the middle and they will pass and pass and pass. And I don't think, looking at this England team, this isn't an England team that could hang with Spain. I don't think.
No. Not when it comes to passing.
Nah.
I mean, Rice and Anderson will run gallop for you for miles, but you there's only so much that even then if you're coming up against Pedri, who's like one of the best passers of the ball in world football right now, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. And speaking of Spain, it's good to see young Lamine Yamal finally get onto the scoring charts as well for the tournament.
I just, again, he's another one who How old is he? 18. And
Mm-hmm.
when I see the likes of him, and I see your young boy doing what he's doing for Scotland and for Bournemouth, and I'm seeing Max Dowman come through, I'm seeing Rio at Liverpool, Hendrick is still around for Robert G, even though he's on loan. I think he's on loan last season. There's so many players in that bracket of youth now, and I look at them and think, yeah, you guys are the ones. Like now for the next 5 to 10 years. Like the things some of these boys the things that these boys do at their age against grown men who are a bit older than them, I think, you know what? Yeah, you guys have been playing football in the playground a bit too long. Like, but that's great. That's what's good, because you know you just go out there and do what you got to do. Your manager, your coach will just say to you, go out there and go and express yourself. Just have fun. Go and do what you do. Just keep it simple. You know, and that's what and that's what they do, because if you tell a skillful player like Lamine Yamal to keep it simple, he'll keep it simple, but you know what he can do skill-wise. So he's going to think that's his simple play, his flair. He's going to think his flair is great. So he's going to continue doing what he's doing. So that's why half of them just look so comfortable when they play. You know, because I've always been amazed at the fact that 15-year-olds are able to come on in the Premiership and play a game. Like,
yeah.
It's actually just beyond crazy. But Lamine Yamal
it takes me back to the days of those Brazil teams of old, where they played with such joy because the coaching instructions were basically keep it simple, which again is a subjective term because it means keep it simple for you, but simple for 2002 Brazil is not simple in most other teams on the planet.
Oh, that's the thing. It's amazing. It's amazing when you look at football it brings all of us together, but culture-wise, it does something different for different nations. Like Brazil, every single player who's come out of Brazil will near enough have some sort of flair about them or something about them. And then when you come here, come to Britain, same thing, but it's probably a bit more when it comes to aggression and physicality. You know, so when you tell someone to keep it simple with physicality, that's going to be something completely different over in South America, because in South America they're more about skill in terms of flair. But over here, it's like, yeah, if I have to go muscle against you, I'm gonna knock you off. Like, and you know, that's what I like about over here with us. It's like, you know, question came up again when you think of Messi, like, why did Messi not come to the Premiership? Because I thought, well, because Messi he will do well, but I don't think he would do as well as what most people think he would. You know,
because the natural like tendency to do with a player like that is he's small, he's quick, he's a flair-based player. So I'm going to try and counter that with size and muscle. I'm going to be in your face all day, and if he's facing that every weekend, yeah, he would still get the goals. He would still probably, like if he'd had the tenure in England that he had in Barcelona, he would probably still be an all-time great. But I mean, we're talking minute details here, and I feel like it's a bad style, as you say, just in terms of play, how you actually break the game down, and how they would choose to defend them. I think it's a bad fit. And the BBC in their glorious iPlayer acting up again. You love to see it.
To be fair, when I saw, I had to ask after, I was like, who do you think has probably been better doing the coverage, ITV or the British Broadcasting?
I quite like the ITV stuff. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I'd have to. I was like, I like what they've done that with what's her name? Is it Emma? Is it Emma Hayes? She does a little tactic thing, which I think is cool. You know, it's always good to get that. And you know, they do the thing with I think the lady who does the decisions with the refereeing. whether it's VAR, whether it's been a penalty, they've done that. I think they've done that as well. And Roy Keane, you know, yeah, having Roy Keane on there is actually funny as well. I like Roy Keane because it just makes me laugh all the time anyway. But they had to keep him and Micah Rich. They had to keep him and Micah Richards away from each other. So I thought, yeah, you got on TV, I'll stick on BBC. So yeah, but I think
like I think like as we were talking earlier about coaches, I think it's the same when you're trying to plan your panels. It's like, yeah, maybe we don't put those two together.
although saying that, they did have Keane and Vieira together yesterday.
Yeah, actually.
You know, but I think them two have actually just yeah, I think they've buried that thing anyway. So that got buried ages ago. I don't know if they showed.
So it took them long enough.
Mm-hmm. Their documentary was on the other day. Actually, I had to watch it again. I thought, yeah, you know, between the both of them, I think I couldn't really much argue when I look back on it now. I think them two are kind of what's missing from today's game. Because I would love to see him in the Premiership with how it's being played right now. Because I know certain players would not have it with them. I think the two of them would. Them two, I don't think would give a damn. They just like, no, I'm gonna rip your head off. I'm gonna, you know, just.
That infamous photo, I think everyone in Britain knows it. It's got its own cult following. But the Vinnie Jones, Paul Gascoigne shot.
Oh.
I love that shot. And then they got together like a few months back and recreated it. I was like, you gotta love it, man.
Gosh. It's okay, so they've gone back. It's like they've gone back in their shell a bit.
I think it's going to be similar to the game yesterday. I think this is going to be a game of moments.
I'll give it to Madueke. He's trying, but he's not going to get. He's every time he gets look at that. Every time he gets the ball on that right hand side, he's got three players. He's got 2 free players around him.
Yeah.
He's got the ball again. Just shoot. There you go. Yeah, I think Ghana's done. Yeah, they're starting to go into the game now.
Nah.
Yeah, they start to go into it now. It's the 33 minutes. I don't think England have even that shot on target yet.
I don't think that they have, no.
I don't think there's been a shot at all.
Unless you count the free kick from Rice, but it wasn't. It was like just over. Yep, there's that British physicality we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, Gordon's a bit. The wingers are a threat, but they need to go tackle. Yeah,
A lot of these African sides are really, really quick on the outside.
Yeah, they just know how to press. I see, even with the African nations, like they really know how to press. And again, physicality is another thing for them as well. Like they, you know, I'm just looking at the stat that in the 242 passes, Ghana have had 32.
Yeah, that's
so Ghana are basically just saying, okay, you can have the ball, but if you want the goal, break the wall down effectively.
Yeah. And I feel like it's the same way Morocco played us, because that is one thing I noticed. Morocco's wing backs were humongous guys. And I was just like, right, okay, I see exactly what you're trying to do to us tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Hakimi. Well, Hakimi's just what. Yeah, he's the best right back. For me, he's the best right back in the world. But that even for him, he can run up and down that side like all day. Like, and then when I see him for Paris, you got him on the right, and I think is it Mendes on the left, left back. And I think did he score? I think he scored today. Them two will run up and down. That's when wing play for Paris Saint-Germain is key. Their wingers are brilliant. So when it comes to seeing them do that, it's was that Declan? Was that Rice? Yeah, that's Rice. Yeah, when you see him do that for the nations, yeah, Hakimi, yeah, he'll run riot, like all day.
And that's why it surprised me that we didn't have the speed on the wing with Gan and Doak to match him. I don't know if it was a fitness issue, because he'd played so well in the first game. I speculated that's what it would have been, but we really needed some presence out on that wing because he really hurt us for sure. He's a quality player.
He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be at Bournemouth for too long. I think there's players who. I think I was saying it to because after I watched the Cape Verde game, I was watching some of the way some of these players were playing. I thought like half of that squad. I mean, a couple of them. I don't want to say push Premiership. I don't want to go that high up, but I don't think any of them would have any problems playing in the Championship. Yeah. If I'm being honest, I looked at some of them and I thought, yeah, you guys are actually like decent players. It's not like they're slouches; they're actually very decent players. So it's kind of been a blessing the fact that this competition has grown to have more teams in it, because now you're starting to see more from different regions of the world, because certain regions only had a few teams be there.
Yeah.
Like I think like in South America it'd be like 5 teams would be, and then from Africa it'd be 5 or 6. From North America it'd be 3. But because this was a triple host, you had to have 3 more. So now you've got 6 from CONCACAF there now, and now you've got a little bit more from Europe, and now you've got Australia in there, and it's like you're now starting to see the World Cup for what it should be, because now you're starting to see more players from other nations, and I think that's refreshing to see. It's not just about the big boys.
It's great to see from even a club standpoint as well, because you're getting a wider standpoint into markets that you've maybe not assessed yet, and then you can obviously go and scout accordingly. Because I feel like when you're in smaller markets, like for instance Scotland versus England, obviously there's a lot more money down south when you're talking about Premiership. The only teams that you see really spending sums of money is mainly the old firm. Hearts if they're in a good season, Hibs if they're in a good season, but outside of that 3-4 teams in Scotland, the money starts to dwindle. So when you look at some of these players that, as you say, are maybe high level League One or Championship caliber players, those are guys that would translate fairly well to a mid or upper table Scottish side as well. So and yeah, as you say, it's great all round, because it means you get to see these guys that you wouldn't normally see as well.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been it's
What was that? No, just a bit of a collision.
No. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I even looked at the what team was I seeing the other day? The United States, for example. I looked at their team, and out of the whole squad, the majority of them will actually play in Europe. Like, as an example. So many players. I mean, that's a sign of growing. Japan as well. I think they said that Japan have got they had started a 100-year project. for them to win the World Cup. They started that 30 years ago, so they're 30 years into it now. So, and I think now when you look at them now, I've seen a couple of their games. I thought, oh, man, Japan are looking they're looking good. Like they're looking very, very, very good. And I've always known they've had snippets of good players in the past, but now they seem to be like improving a lot. So which is good.
Yeah. A lot of good work out Ueda in the last game. Kamada as well. They've got a lot of weapons. And I don't think it's going to take them another 70 years to get it done if they keep pressing the way they're pressing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've not double checked the list in a while, but I think Japan came in ranked 18, which is not bad at all.
I think they're quite high. I think in Asia, are they the best team in Asia? I think they're the best.
I think you're right.
Team, I think they are. Asia does get a bit confusing when it comes to who's the best in Asia, because then they always put Saudi Arabia up there, but then when I watch Saudi Arabia play compared to what Japan do, I think, well, I'm pretty sure Japan can beat you.
I would agree. Japanese for sure are the best team in Asia. If you do count Saudi Arabia, they'd possibly be second, but even with that being said, I don't know. It's close. It's close, but yeah, there's something that the Japanese are doing that just sets them apart. And then obviously, I don't know if it's the amount of money or investment from the respective FAs, but there's a fall away after that, because a lot of teams, especially in the Far East region, your Thailands, your Chinas, Vietnam, Laos, there's not a lot of football culture in these countries. So I'm glad to see the Japanese continue to do well, and obviously South Korea would be in that mix as well.
I thought China at one point were actually, well, I think when I was in school, they actually weren't too bad, because I remember Crystal Palace bought a couple of Chinese guys. Was it Fanzi High? Fanzi High they bought, and there was another one. And they were really good. I thought, a couple of Chinese guys are coming out. So I thought more of the Chinese guys are going to come over. But then after them two retired, it kind of did. I think they retired just before the 2002 World Cup, and then Korea and Japan came in, and then they started bringing in players, and then it went down again. But now Japan have now said,
that sounds about right, because I seem to recall China being there or thereabouts until, as you say, about maybe 02, 04. And then the shift was quite dramatic. It was when they co-host China-Korea World Cup. I think that was 2002. And then just from that, it was just China have never really... I don't know about too much about the football infrastructure in China, but it's a team that I expected to recover that's never really came back to fruition.
They did have that Super League at one point. I think that was about 10 or so years, about 10, 12 years ago, I think it was. There's a lot of money in that. There was quite a bit of money in that, I remember. Because who went over? I think it was Oscar and Ramirez. I think they both left Chelsea, and they went over there. And a couple of others went over there, but then they disappeared. And I think that league is now, it's not as big as the Saudi league, I don't think, now, in terms of how much money is involved.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, so I think now where the big money is now is the Saudi league. The MLS is starting to kind of pay out now. And I think what the Americans are doing now because I watch the USL, because the USL is the division just below the MLS. But I think what the USL are doing now is they've made another division where I think there's going to be promotion and relegation between the USL, not into the MLS. I think it's just going to be there in between. I think that's what I've read anyway, which I think is weird, because again, you're kind of defeating the purpose of making the MLS just look like it's just going to be that. When I think if you're going to incorporate all that. I think they should just make it look. If you've got these 2 championships, then you need to make it like how everyone else does. But the Americans are still treating the MLS like it's knockout football with the playoffs in basketball and in NFL and baseball, where it's we're going to play a 2-legged game and you go through to the next round in the playoffs. It's, because they still keep it East and West, but they all still play each other. So it's I think it's something that they need to like carefully look at and think, okay, look, maybe we do need to. I don't know. I don't even know how they would even do it, because I think there's 12 teams in each conference, I believe. And if they did do that, then I think FIFA would probably turn to them and say, well, we want 20 teams in one division. So, because I think that's what they've done over in Europe. Because when the Premiership started, was 24 teams. And then UEFA said, no, you need to cut it down to 20, just like everybody else. And in the end, I think how they did it was 4 teams got relegated and 2 teams came up, and then it was kind of even after that. But I think the Americans as much as the game improves every season, I think they still got a long way to go in regards to how they want to structure it in terms of their divisions and their levels of football. But it's getting there.
I feel like it's something that needs to be looked at. I feel like they know. Well, as you know, and as you say, in the major leagues in America, everything has a playoff system, and I can understand the notion for a playoff system and the way that that's all sorted by conference and so on and so forth. But I don't really like the playoff system in terms of a league. I prefer the playoff system as it exists in Scotland, where you would have like a top 6, bottom 6 split. Then you play that set of teams again. So you've only got 5 games instead of 11 on the final cycle, so to speak. I like that sort of thing, and then you crown your champion that way. But I don't really like having your season and then doing a separate playoff, where you could have been great all season and then get pipped at the post. I feel like there's as you say, it does have to be looked at again. I can understand what they're trying to do, but I'm personally not the biggest fan of the MLS system.
If you don't like the MLS one, you're probably going to have Kane? No? Okay. You might have a little bit of a chuckle at this one then, because I only found out about this one last week. So my colleague told me he's a West Ham fan. So obviously he's not exactly impressed with the whole thing. But in the Championship now, the playoffs they've now increased the number of teams that are going to be in the playoffs in the Championship. So like this. So your face is exactly your face is exactly how mine is when I read this. I was like, what is going on? There's no way this could happen. So, but apparently this is true. So, if I remember you're going to have to read it, but this is how I remember seeing it. So, the top 2 will still go up automatically. Third, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th will all be in the playoffs. What's going to happen is the team that finishes 8th will play the team that finishes 5th, and the team that finishes 7th will play the team that finishes 6th. The winner of those 2 ties will then play the 2 teams that finish 3rd and 4th, and then after that, blah, blah, then Wembley. Mate, please tell me why they're doing this.
A full-on college football playoff for the Championship. It's all a bit much.
It's the NFL wildcard, mate. I just thought, and the first thing, I kid you not, when I read that and I was told this, I was like, there's no way that's happening. And then when I actually read, I thought, the first thing that came to mind was this. I said to Tom, imagine being a team that finishes 8th and you win the playoffs and you go into the Premiership. That team will get destroyed. Like, that's a mid-table Championship team going into the Premiership because they've won the playoffs in that format. There's no way they can do that. Like that's for me personally. I think that's ridiculous. But
yeah, talk about a wake up call, man. Like, picture you've just come up with like, I don't know, Lincoln City or something, and then it's like, right, welcome to the Premiership. Now you have to play Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Man United. Yeah, you're pretty screwed.
yeah, I read it. Yeah, we went through. I just thought, but that literally the first thing I thought of was, yeah, what if the team in 8th wins this thing? They'll go up. I just think to myself like, well, because the crazy thing about a championship is that champion, especially next season, that championship next season is going to be very, 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 very tight. I think probably going to be the closest in years, purely because of who's in there and the rivalries and everything that's looking to come in. And you know, if I do see a team, okay, let's say Wrexham finish 8th. You know, obviously Ryan Reynolds is not going to be very happy with it, but let's face it, you're a mid-table championship side. You've just won the playoffs. Congratulations, but you finished 8th. Let's be realistic. That you finished 8th, and you're now in the Premiership with this team.
It makes you wonder. You would feel like they had to. I hate to get so business minded, but it takes you back to infrastructure. If you're going to do that and expand the playoffs, you need to make sure that the floor of the league is stronger, player wise. If you're going to look at doing that, or they're going to come straight back down, it's not sustainable. And yeah, I mean, looking at that, it's a silly way to do it.
I'll try. Let me see. Let me try and find it, and then I can. Because if they really are doing it, then it will be. I mean, it'll be good to watch. I mean, don't get to it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, see more football and everything, but you know, it's just going to be. Let's see. Where is it? Championship playoffs. Let's see. 2027. Yeah. So this is what it's saying. Starting in 2027, the playoffs from 4 to 6 teams, with the teams ranked 3rd and 4th advancing directly to two-legged semi-finals with 5th to 8th contesting single-leg eliminator games. In the two-legged semi-finals, 3rd place would take on the lowest ranked team remaining, with 4th facing the highest. Where does that sound familiar? That is very NFL.
Yeah,
it's very NFL. That's what's happening from next season. So I don't. I can see why they've done it. I mean, they want to make more money out of it and everything like that. But it just seems to cater so much towards. It just caters towards the United States. It just reeks the United States. I just think this is actually. It's actually crazy. Like, because like I said, if the team in 8th wins the whole thing, what can I say? Like, what can I actually say? I want to say, sorry, welcome to the Premiership, but you're going back down. You know.
Yeah. And it's just like there's no realistic way that model is sustainable. Like it's completely ludicrous. But I know what you're trying to say about cashing into the UK market and all the solidarity and all those things, but I feel like in that case we're being naive, because if you want to appeal to the American market, wait to see the changes that the American market makes, because as we just said maybe 20 minutes ago there, the American league system's not fundamentally flawed in how they do things. So I feel like the MLS and things like they need to have a look at things again. And I feel like the football league need to be kind of keeping the FA need to be keeping a wee eye on how that situation's going, because it's madness.
Yeah,
pure and simple.
Yeah. I just I don't know. It just this The entire Ghana team have had 77 passes. Esri Concerts has 73. So that tells you everything you want to know about this game.
So I've had to reboot the stream, so we're just hitting halftime now, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly go off cam. I'll keep the audio on. I'm still here with
Okay,
you.
man. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share it out to everyone again. Actually, still got a link somewhere, haven't I? Where's the link?
Yeah, you should do it.
Oh, this is new. The Atlanta Falcons have agreed to terms with Kyle Pitts on a reported 3-year deal. That is
nice.
That's according to Adam Schaefer. Well, if Adam Schaefer is saying it, then that's true because he's always got good sources. That's what he's put that in the group. Vinny's put that. Vinny? Yeah, Vinny.
Yeah, that's surprises me actually. I really thought we would have got the Bijan business done first, but there you go.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And I mean, it's not even like, let's be realistic, it's not even like it's about timing because we had 2 years on Bijan, but the reason that I said that is because I feel like there's a lot of goodwill involved. Obviously, look what Bijan's done the last 3 years for us. So I feel like we wanted to get that done sooner rather than later, especially when you look at the way the contracts are going when you talk about running backs, and you know Jahmyr Gibbs is about to reset things again up in Detroit. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens for sure. But yeah, I'm glad Kyle Pitts is tied up for a bit longer term. I feel like this is going to be a good year for him.
It's a 3-year deal because I fully expected him to move on. If I'm being honest,
I feel like we were going to kick the can. I felt like we were going to. That's why we used the franchise tag. I feel like we were going to kick the can down the road a little bit, and if he didn't produce, look to possibly trade at the deadline. But I mean, 3 years is a big commitment. But I mean, I know obviously Ian Cunningham's made a lot of points in the media about wanting to draft, develop, and retain. But with that being said, Kyle Pitts was never an Ian Cunningham guy. So I'm not surprised. I'm happy to hear that he's extended. But yeah, I mean, the timing is my question. That's the only thing, you know.
Where's that? Oh.
And this is the thing, see, because the NBA draft starts tonight as well. So I mean, everyone's out here trying to multitask.
I keep forgetting. Yeah, basketball they seem to do basketball a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's only 2 rounds, I think. So it'll be done probably over a night. But yeah, I think the Hawks are in a good spot. I've heard the rumours that they're trading number 8. That's not what I would do. I think I would use number 8 if I can't remember the school the kid's from, but his surname's Mara. He's a centre. This kid looks real nice. 7'1", great length, decent jumper, and a consistent shooter. So pretty much what you're looking for in Atlanta. And I feel if we can get him at number 8, we'd be mad not to. Just kind of building ourselves up for the rest of these watch parties this week as well, because I mean, shout out to the Tartan Army down in Miami, getting ready for the Brazil game, and then obviously that's tomorrow, and then on Thursday the late game. I'm going to try my best. No promises, but I will try to bring you guys the late game, the USA versus Turkey, just to obviously show a bit of solidarity home to the hosts that have made us feel so welcome throughout this whole tournament. And I would encourage my brothers and sisters from the Kilted Revolution to do the same. So if you're still here, or rather if you're still over in the States on Thursday, why not pop over the border because at Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta, there will be a huge watch party for the game. So just if anyone is hanging around looking for something to do after the Brazil game, then I've just gave you some plans.
Apparently, they done that. They actually done that today at the O2. SmackDown. What time was SmackDown on? I think SmackDown must have been on. Apparently, they done SmackDown, and once SmackDown finished, the England fans were going to be staying to watch the game.
That's pretty sweet.
So they're going to have it on the Titans run.
That'll be pretty awesome. That should be a good laugh.
Oh, jeez, I'm going to share this, wasn't I? Oh, let me go and watch that quick.
And I think that's why we've been left to our own devices tonight, because obviously we've got training camp coming up, we've got the NBA draft, so it's everybody's everywhere. So, but no, I didn't want to just do watch parties for Scotland, because obviously I knew it was a big tournament, and then obviously with the timing of your good self coming on board, I just thought it made sense. I'm in no way betraying my country. I'm just doing a favour to a brother down south. That's all.
One sec, mate. Let me go and sort this out.
Yeah, no rush at all, brother.
I need to get a picture up as well, don't I?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I sent you a couple of ideas today, but we'll get that avatar together for you. We'll get it finalised in the next couple of days, so you can fire something up. In the meantime, you can use the one you have for your, if you want to.
Yeah, that's cool. Give me a second.
No rush. So yeah, I mean, for anyone who's taking the time to pop in and check on the show tonight, we appreciate you. As I say, we've got a lot of good sports content coming up with the Scotland-Brazil game tomorrow. Also the USA, hopefully, and Turkey on Thursday as well. We also have the Scottish Falcons and Friends show with Daniel Flick. Special guest, the beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, will be joining us on Thursday to talk about all things training camp. Mandatory OTAs, all that good stuff. Some ongoing expectations and prognoses for our Dirty Birds, and all that good stuff as well. So there's a lot coming up from your boys here in the locker room. Just trying to find the hours at the moment to get it all out. So we appreciate you stopping in, showing your boys some love. So just to flash that score up for you, it's half time and it is England 0, Ghana 0. So for anyone just tuning in, we're just on the second half break, just getting ready to break down the second half for you in all its glory. So if you're just tuning in, we know that we appreciate you. Just getting ourselves together for the second half, so to speak, getting our little hydration break. And if there's anyone hanging around in the A tonight that is going to the watch party, just keep an eye on the socials for Miss Maggie T at Maggie T Productions, because she's going to be out at the watch party with Lady Karina from the Rise Up Tour fan club as well. So go say hi to the ladies. Tell them your boys sent you. And yeah, it should be a good night. Just go cheer on the Hawks.
All right, mate. I'm back, mate. Okay.
Welcome back, man. No, I was just letting the good people know, basically just some of the good stuff that's coming up in the next sort of week or so.
Yeah.
Just thought, well, it was half time, get that out of the way. But yeah, the one thing that I did want to cover and flash up, because I've got it in picture form, as we were talking about earlier, is the latest kind of lowdown of how the second stage is looking so far. So there we go. There's 6 teams through and 4 teams out now. So you've got 26 spots left. But as of right now, you have Mexico and Germany, the United States of America, France, Norway, and Argentina have qualified. And so far, the only teams that are mathematically eliminated are Haiti, Turkey, Tunisia, and as of last night, Jordan. Every other team still has a mathematical possibility of qualification. So yeah, I mean, still a lot to play for.
I think Turkey will be looking at themselves thinking to be rather disappointed with their showing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that group just on paper, I think I had Turkey coming out in second place. So yeah, I mean, they've been one of the big disappointments of the tournament, I would say.
Yeah, I think quite a few pundits actually had them win the group, because they're, United States, I mean, you're one the host. So if you're a host, I mean, you tend to have the notion of, you're gonna have the whole crowd on your back, and you're gonna add a bit more extra. So I mean, the United States was always gonna do well, but I thought Turkey would probably have a bit more to them, but they've been rather poor.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, of the teams that I expected to not perform quite so highly, Turkey, I was expecting better from them. I thought Belgium had an extremely slow start as well, for as good as they are. But yeah, it took the Belgians a minute to get going as well. Obviously, we had the shocks in the first games with the Iberians, but they seem to be coming alive now. Spain and Portugal. So obviously they're going to be a threat going forward as well. So a lot of interesting things can happen in the next few days. And then obviously there's a lot of speculation as to who these teams are going to play. I don't know if you've had a look for England yet, Dean, but I know in terms of Scotland, there's a 70% chance that if we make it through, it's going to be Germany, and then a 26% chance that it will be Mexico. So either way, that's going to be a hard tie, but an interesting game nonetheless.
I've still kind of not picked up on how the format goes. I'm gonna have to try and look at that again. But I think obviously they've said that England should want to win their group, because if they don't, they may end up facing someone a lot harder, more challenging further down the line in the round of 16, or maybe even the round of 32, depending on who finishes. But the way they're playing right now in this game is, they need to kind of up the tempo a bit. I mean, they're more than capable of doing so. We see them do it all the time, but they're it's like, I don't know now. They're just taking their foot to gas a bit now.
Yeah, and this is the thing that gets me about England. It's something that you see from you guys a lot in major tournaments. You're not a team that's going to take the fight to a lot of teams. You're going to kind of play it out, sit in the midfield, hold the ball a little bit, see, and then kind of play it out slowly. You're not a team that's going to come out and get 3 goals in 20 minutes a lot of the time, unless you're playing much weaker opposition. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be more aggressive, given
It should be.
you know a win gets you in, and you know top gets you a much more favourable draw. So
Mm.
I don't understand. Like, if you want to coast, I would coast in the third game, as we said, and play
Yeah.
some of your younger guys and your depth guys. But I feel like it's a bit early to rest just yet. Would be my thoughts on it.
You wanna give Kane and these boys something in this game.
Yeah.
But then I've always said that England always seem to their approach is slow. I mean they do a good job sometimes wearing teams down. I'll give it to them, but there's other times where they play the same way, but then they struggle, and then they bring other players on and they can't do nothing. So the game right now would probably be like begging for someone like Saka or Rashford to come on and do something. So who knows?
What would be fun one time would be to sit and go down and break down what would happen in a obviously speculative, because the chances are pretty small, but of a Scotland England meeting, how that would go down. And I feel like on paper it would play out very similarly to how the Moroccans played us. You would play us physical at the back. You would not give us a lot of room to manoeuvre in the middle of the park, so we would have to rely on our wingers. And it would come down to how decisive we were or weren't in front of goal, whereas we know Harry Kane can put it in the back of the net. So I think we would give you a couple of scares during the game, I would say. But if we play you today, I think it's England 2-0, realistically speaking. That's kind of where, because I was asked the question, what if you guys get England? And I says, I think I'm feeling the same as if we got maybe a Netherlands or a Belgium. We can take the game to them. Are we going to win? Is a much different question.
I think at some point he's going to change up.
At some point you'll have to at least get the goal, and then if you want to sit back a little bit, you can do that. Because
yeah, that's a danger right there. See, that's what you see. So you're ahead of me, but I'm ahead of you by a bit. But you'll see. Oh, well.
They seem to have decent gas tanks. They're going pretty well. I worry that they may hit England late. So if England don't get a goal, they could maybe make you pay late on in the last 10, 15 minutes, because these guys have got some gas.
Because they nearly scored that's a good ball over the top.
Like, I know these first few watch parties have been fairly quiet, but it's been great to obviously get to know you, brother, and obviously just have some fun, let you get to know the Spina, how things work and how we do things over here. So obviously take the chance while we've got it. I hope you're having fun so far and you're looking forward to the season to come, man.
Obviously with NFL coming up, and obviously football's going to come back again after this, and it's gonna come quick purely because of this, because of the World Cup, because the final itself is on the 19th. So even after that, I think the Premiership doesn't start again for like another 3 weeks. I know by then the Scottish League already started. Because I know some of them are going, but I think some of the teams up and down the country are starting to go back for pre-season training from next week.
Right.
So between all of that, I think that then when we get to August, pre-season, NFL pre-season, and then by then football would have started proper. So by the time we get to September, I think it'll be looking good, looking strong. And then that's when we'll just see how quick flowing things will be. I think that's when it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think you're very right there. A lot of I know, because I've heard from the guys in the group chats and things, that a lot of them are worn down by the obviously the QB battle. Obviously, we understand that it's the elephant in the room; it has to be addressed. But a lot of the guys are sitting back and taking a breather for off season, and I can completely understand that. But I knew that obviously, with the World Cup and everything, it was a great opportunity to obviously drive the international expansion. So, yeah, I've been trying to kind of shore up that side and keep things ticking over through the off season. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff to come. Although between the 19th and the 31st, you probably won't hear a lot of contact because that's the kind of drop off between the World Cup and the start of training camp on the 31st.
Yeah.
So I will be doing a big show on the 31st because not only is it first day of camp, but it's also my birthday. So
Okay.
we'll do a big show for then. But if you're planning on catching me in that 12 days, you're probably going to catch me just sleeping most of that, I would suspect. I'm just going to be honest and set your expectations now, mate.
One sec, mate. Hold on, one sec. Be back.
Yeah, no rush. So yeah, we are ticking through the second half now. Still England 0, Ghana 0. England looking the slightly better team, but not a lot of huge chances thus far. And as I say, we also like to try and cover you guys' takes and questions in the chat as well. So if you're on in the chat and you're sitting quietly, but you do want something answered, or there's something you want Deano and I to cover, then just let us know. And this is kind of a free form opportunity to do so. If anybody does want to come on and join us in the panel to talk a little football or soccer to our brother stateside, and you can of course do so. Just let me know. I can drop you guys the link. Failing that, as I say, keep the questions, the comments, and the love coming. We're going to tick it out until the final whistle blows, and then your boys got some more work to do. I'm right back on to another show to chat some wrestling in a bit as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Over with OG Sam, the freshman, Almighty Fresh, for the Almighty OG Raw review. We're going to be talking some Freebirds as well. So yeah, from the boys from Freebird Town, we're going to head into some Atlanta GA wrestling history for you all as well. So looking forward to a good show. England looking still fairly comfortable in possession here. And as we were saying a little bit earlier on in the show, there doesn't seem to be a lot of purpose at the moment behind England. They seem to be at least playing right now as if a draw would do, and in a lot of ways it would. But again, as we said earlier in the show, it boils down to where you want to be come the round of 32. Obviously, we all suspect that England will get the job done, but it's who do you want to face in the next round? That's the big question. And so I think Thomas Tuchel and his boys will need to think about that. Obviously, as the second half draws in, because Ghana are still a threat to break on the counter attack. We know we can get the job. They can get the job done, and obviously, these boys don't seem too tired yet. They're still obviously trying to have little pokes here and there where they can as well. So with that being said, I think a goal will come. feel like there's no secret that England have been the better side so far. Is why Ghana are sitting so deep. It's just that England haven't quite been able to penetrate the way they've wanted to. No shots on target as such. And I mean, if you're just seeing this second part of a quadruple header today, we had the little pop-up show earlier on Atlanta Falcons Nation Stateside. So if you've not had the chance to see that yet, go back and check that out. So shout out to the guys that jumped on for the fan speak. Had a lot of fun today, getting ready for some shenanigans NBA wise tonight. So I'll be keeping a side eye on that while I'm busy doing other things. What we would also recommend is whenever you do get the chance to see this, leave us some comments. Let us know if there's any of the last cycle of games that you'd like us particularly to do in form of watch party, and we can definitely look at doing that for you as well. We always try to give back to you guys, the fans, as well. So yeah, as I say, just drop the games down there that you want to see, and we'll do our best to get to them. There's no promises though, because as we say, it is a busy time for all us sports fans and content creators, but we will do what we can. And just a reminder, as always, that we are constantly on the recruitment drive as well. So now that Deano can provide you with his testimonial, I would obviously like to let you know that we want you to be part of the Kilted Revolution into season 2 and beyond. So whether you are a fan of the Braves, the Hawks, the Dream, the Falcons, or you just want to rep your soccer team, be that ATL United, I know some of the British guys are going to get into some football talk soon as well, so you can look forward to that. We're going to be having a lot of wrestling talk as well going forward. So if you want to be part of that, just know that we at AFNI try to pride ourselves on being the voice of all the fans. So if you want to join us for some dirty birdie work and you want to earn your kilt the way that our frequent Flyers family have, then you know what to do. Just get at us at the socials after the show. I'm on Instagram now as well. I'm back after a long hiatus. So yeah, just cutting my teeth on there again a little bit. So you can get me on Instagram as well as X, as well as TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, just get at me at Will the Thrill Waddle. Keep the conversation coming. You know I love to hear from fans and other content creators and sports fanatics. So yeah, as I say, just keep showing the love. You know that how much it means to me to be able to deliver these shows for you. So just keep it coming. there may need to be a change made here. As I say, it's not the first game we've seen from one of the bigger giant teams at the tournament that's just fallen a little flat. England will need to dial it up just a little bit more for me to try and get this result. Welcome back, man.
Sorry about it, everyone.
Yeah, no, welcome back. They were
everyone there.
Just blessing everybody with my dulcet tones for a while. Welcome back.
Ooh. Oh, now it's
There's
starting to
been a
get
bit more pressing recently.
Yeah.
A little bit more purpose. And I can see a little bit more shape about you. Your wing backs have come down just a little bit.
So they start to press them back.
Yeah. I feel like England will be content with one goal. I feel like if they go up 1-0, they'll be quite happy to kind of rock back a little bit and just let Ghana break onto them. I feel like that's probably an effective enough strategy. I don't feel like Ghana have shown that they've got too much threat in front of goal. A couple of little things here or there, but nothing too stonewall. And I mean, if you'd like us to do so, another conversation that might be quite fun to have is looking at why some of the teams that didn't make it didn't. Because obviously there are some teams like the likes of Italy and Ukraine, that you would perhaps Nigeria. These are the teams that would be quite high on that list, and I'm almost surprised, especially with the expanded bracket of teams like that didn't make it. And Poland as well. That would be
Italy have been. I don't even know where to even begin with them. I mean, it's a shame because you can see the demise of the league, because the league is okay. You still got the teams in there, and it's still a decent league, but it's not where it used to be now. It's slowly now starting to become like how it was in the Eredivisie, where Ajax were the team, but only this time it's now affecting the entire country. If that makes sense, because like Ajax were, back in the day, they were a team that was always going to be good because they had a conveyor of players coming through constantly. So they didn't have to worry about losing players every year. But then it just stopped. And then because that stopped, the rest of the league then caught up, but then the Eredivisie is not as strong as what it should be.
And I feel like the same can be said about the Bundesliga. I feel like Germany is held in as high regard as it is purely because of Bayern Munich.
That's right.
I feel like outside of that, there are still dangerous teams with teams like Wolfsburg and Dortmund and things like that, Hamburg at times. But there's a steep drop off, and again in France, it's PSG, and then a large gap before you start talking about anyone else. And that's, I guess, why I love why I love the English league and why I feel like it's probably the number one league in the world. You could say La Liga because you do get more codependency when you've got Barca and Real Madrid and Atletico as well. But for terms of competition and having different, like the potential to have different teams in the mix, you can't really compare to England.
No.
They're far and away.
This is the thing that I've always said that, it's the most competitive league in the world, but now that it has become competitive, it is mainly the internet ones that say this, the young ones that they say that the league, that the Premier League now is. Oh, is that a foul? Oh,
Yeah, I'll need to watch that replay again.
that's a bit. Oh, okay.
Can be 100% right 100% of the time, but that was a bit of a strange one.
I think Pickford's actually very lucky he missed kicked the ball, because he didn't touch the ball. If he hit the ball there, and then maybe the referee would probably look at it, hold on a minute. Then he'd be asking a question. But in this instance, no, they just collided.
Shout out to the chat. We've got our first comment of the night. Mr. Linane, loyalty is gone, brother. Just a money machine now. Yeah,
absolutely right.
And in some way, shape, and form, it does feel like that. There's just so much about printing names on jerseys. There's no investment on grassroots anymore, and things like that. It's gone are the days when you could go out and do jumpers for goalposts. I don't want to sound like a 50-year-old man here, but they're all playing FC now, or FIFA. If you're of a certain demographic.
I don't see kids playing football in the parks anymore. The parks aren't there. The parks are just. I don't see kids playing football in the parks. I don't see none of that.
Yeah, and I can't remember the last time. I mean, not to get political, but it's a scary world now. Scary world.
And just like what Mr. Linja said there, unfortunately, sometimes, in this instance, money does talk, because, even with the Premiership, like, even if you get relegated, you're still getting a decent amount of money when you get relegated. It's just become a lucrative thing now of who basically can get more. And it is a shame, because then what ends up happening is that, as they say, the working class man gets priced out. The working class person gets priced out, should I say so?
And it's in every way, because you see it across the major sports leagues in America as well. It begins with the contracts. The player contracts get out of control. And the transfer fees in the case of football and things like that. They've got to a point now where I'm just like, I remember playing game like management sims and things of that nature back when I was slightly younger, and 40 million, 50 million, you were going, that's extortionate. Now that is a routine fee. There's guys going for 180 million pounds these days. It's like, what has happened?
Wow. Those were the days of when I used to play Football Manager or Championship Manager.
Yeah,
and I thought, instead of being Arsenal, let me be Real Madrid to see what I could do. But Real Madrid were so hard to manage, because they already had a decent team, and they had like 3-4 players in each position. I thought, I can't keep all these players happy. Plus, they already gave you like £150 million to spend. So, I think I'm going back to the days of when it was Raul and Davor Suker and Guti ruling the team at the same time, and I thought, I can't manage this team. This is they were too hard to manage.
This is like above my pay grade, so to speak.
They were too hard to manage. And even then, if you did manage a Premiership team, there was no way you was going to be able to afford those guys, because the money wasn't there. And now all of a sudden, like you say, 100 players are going for £180 million. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it's gone beyond crazy now.
Yeah, and it almost I didn't really. Maybe it's because I fell away from the sport a little bit, but I didn't see that it was a smooth transition. It was as if it was 1 minute 50 million, the next minute 100, and I was just like, wait, what happened to 60, 70, 80? That was, but no, it's gotten really astronomical now. But yeah, it needs to be sustainable and cost effective, but it's the same in pro wrestling as well. Like, they are going after the Saudi money with the big shows over there. They're going after the celebrities and the crowd and all the kind of clout and aura farming and things of that nature. But what it really boils down to is that if you can't get those normal run-of-the-mill, everyday wrestling fans into the building, you don't really have a wrestling company. That would be my take on it as well. So I mean, it's kind of universal at this point.
It really is. I mean, they're over here right now. Well, yeah, they're over here now, but even then, straight away they're going to go straight over to Saudi on Saturday for Night of Champions.
Yeah,
and I don't think.
Sorry to jump in there, Dean, but I mean, you just reminded me of something there when you talked about obviously Saudi earlier on in the context of football. You're seeing guys like I know he's going to Italy to a Serie C team, but what cause has Ronaldinho to come out of retirement at 46 years of age?
Where's the first plate?
I mean, come on, man! It's got to be the almighty dollar.
Here's the thing. You're absolutely right, because look what's happened in tennis. Serena Williams has come out of retirement and she's 44. So, and the Saudis are into tennis as well. So automatically, if they're seeing that, like in this case, in tennis, women's tennis, if they're seeing that arguably the greatest women's tennis player of all time has come out of retirement, and she's now involved, and she can bring seats in and butts to the seats, they're gonna be the first people to get in touch with her and say, Serena, how about you come over and we'll pay you 20 mil. And it's the same thing like you just said with everything else.
With combat sports, because then it gets real egregious real fast. Some of these guys are broken down. They physically aren't able to go in the ring or in the cage anymore. But I mean, money talks and bullshit walks. And for all the respect that Mike Tyson accrued in his career, for one, he lost a lot of it from me personally for the Jake Paul fight. Because at the end of the day, what are we even doing here? Are you trying to present yourself as a genuine sporting article, or are you trying to frame it as a performance? Because if it is a performance, that's fine, but let us know that's what it is. Don't try and masquerade as a true sporting event. And it's getting really egregious. And as I say, I done a solo show. I think it was maybe 2 months ago now. And I really went into it, the freak show fights, as I call them, where it's just, how much money can we throw at the wall and see what sticks? You know what I mean? It gets really, really terrible after a while.
What you mentioned the whole thing of UFC. I mean, did you see I didn't see it properly, but the fight between Ronda Rousey and is it Gina Cruiser? Was it Gina Cruiser?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to say cash grab and for one reason only, because of how long she'd been out of the cage. I can't definitively say, because she never had the ground skill. She's a Muay Thai fighter. So I can't definitively tell you that Carano wouldn't have went out through a low kick and that's the way the fight would have went, particularly because of the ring rust, so to speak. But was I in any way enamored by that card? I was not. And I don't know if it's just they're getting into certain positions and putting themselves in certain walks of life that I never thought I'd associate with mixed martial arts, like doing shows on the White House green and things of that nature. And it's just, and again, the contract's getting out of control, but the fighter pay the pay scale for fighters in the UFC is absolutely horrendous. And credit to Ronda Rousey, she's one of the parties that's actually sat and broke this down. But I mean, it's the billionaires paying a pittance. You can make a good living if you fight at a high level for a long time, or if you play at a high level for a long time. But if you're getting rich and your body's breaking down, how rich are the people getting that are booking that shit? You know what I'm saying? So it's really a deep conversation. I'm more than happy to do, but we don't want to depress the the good people watching. Like I digress, and I would agree with you there, Mr. Lynn. Ronaldinho is the greatest I have ever seen, at least from a technical standpoint, and in terms of the tricks and the the bag of skills that the freedom that man played with, especially in his prime at Barcelona, that was just wow. I remember the touch of gold video. If you guys seen that back in the day, where he pulls on the pair of gold legends, and he's doing keepy ups and hitting the ball off the bar. It's bouncing off the bar and coming back to him, and he's controlling it every time, and he does it like 6-7 times. I'm just like, I remember being. It takes me back even now, maybe, to being like a 13, 14-year-old kid and going, "This dude isn't human." Like, what?
See, Mr.
Mr. Lynn saying that. Anything about Ronnie.
So Mr. I was just saying what Mr. Lynn said there, like with Messi, Messi idolized Ronaldinho.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he idolized him when he was at Barcelona. He really looked up to him a lot. And this is, when greatness looks up at greatness, you then start to wonder, like, where would Messi be without that? Because he would have looked at Ronaldinho and thought, hold on a minute, I can learn a lot from this guy. And, I'm pretty sure he must have been some sort of mentor to him, and that's not bad of a mentor when it comes to football.
I mean, it spoke a lot to Ronaldinho's character that he was there with countrymen, Ronaldo and Nazario. They were in the Bernabeu playing Real. And Ronaldo says something to him in Brazilian, and the subtitles are there, and it says, this boy's too little. We're going to crush him tonight. And you see Ronaldinho going up to Messi and goes, they're going to try to stop you tonight. And then you see the game play out. It finished 3-0 Barca. Messi got 1 and Ronnie got 2. And I was just that says a lot.
Well, you're behind, but you're going to see what I've just seen. I've never seen anything like it. So Eze gets barged off the ball. There's a through ball. He gives it up and then mistouched it. And then while he's on the ground, he kicks it to his guy in the net, and guess who blocks it? His own teammate.
That's there we go. Wow. Okay.
You couldn't make it up.
That was not on the bingo card for tonight.
His own that was going in the back of the net. That was actually going in.
Oh man.
And you called it 15 minutes ago. Look, there's 10 minutes to go, 12 minutes to go, and now they're starting to come out.
I told you, if you guys didn't get a goal and you were this was where Germany were better in that, because when they let the goal in, they had the time to go and do something about it. And I warned you earlier on in the show, I didn't want to be prophetic in any way and like do that, but no, I just felt like the way the run of play just said, like, Ghana are going to come into their own a little bit in the second half. But I guess a goalless draw is not the worst result in the world for England. It's really not.
It's a clean sheet, but they've just come out. They've come out very timid in this game. There was promising, like, the first 10 minutes. You can see their intent, keep the ball, press them and everything, but there's been no. I know there's not really been much urgency. I mean, but it's like, we say that and then they could score in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But Ghana.
There's been games where I've literally went to the notepad files to update everything. Like, it's the 96th minute, and then I'll go back and there's another 2 goals been scored. It's been a crazy tournament like that. You just never know. But like, if there was ever a 1-goal game, this is it.
That happened with me, I think, the other day between Switzerland and Bosnia. The game was 0-0. I left it. When I looked at the score later on in the day, it was 4-1. I just thought, hold on, how has that happened? Where's this come from? I left the game when it was 0-0. I just, I say that now, but even Switzerland looking good now. I've not even spoken about them. But
Germany Curacao as well was a bad one. It was like Germany scored on the 23rd, and I was like, right, okay, Germany will probably win 2-3-0 here. Then Curacao scored, and I was like, right, okay, 1-1 half time. That's strange. I'll go get something to eat. I'll come back, and I came back, and it was like 5-1. I'm like, what happened? Oh, it just goes to show you, man, you can't take your eyes off it for a minute.
No.
Not in the World Cup.
Well, I have to say, Ghana have looked quite. They've looked rather comfortable.
Yeah, indeed. And I would agree. The defense needs to tighten up. You don't want a repeat of that.
There's the Arsenal boys.
Or break on them. I know they're playing tight at the back, but play them at their own game and try and counter attack. I feel like England have got some speed too.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. I know the long ball's not working, but you can work something there. You've got time.
Okay,
One of these watch parties will get a high score in one, bro. You just wait.
We've still got some interesting games coming up. Well, it's the third. It's going to be the third tie games now, isn't it? So some of the teams are going to be not full strength if they've already gone through.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of them are good. Well, when it comes to the knockout stages, it's going to be high tension.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
it. Extra time.
I really am. I think some groups are going to be testier than others in that third game because there's a lot of teams still fighting to try and stay in it because of that new third place rule. But that's why I agree with you were saying earlier what your friend had said about I think Scotland need to try and take a point from Brazil. As difficult as that's going to be to do, I think 3 points I don't feel secure on. I don't.
Cool.
Any signal they added yet?
You back?
I'm saying, has there been any signal of the added time yet?
No, it's in the what are we at? We're in the 84th minute.
Right.
Probably, I don't know. Well, there's not really been much stop. Not major stoppage. I reckon the referee maybe another 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the standard. Is 5. I've seen a few go to like 7, 8. At one point, one got 10, but that was a rugby match. Need to find their form a little bit again before they step out this group. This is not the same England that played Croatia.
Good. Second out a good shot. I'm gonna turn. Yeah, Saka just gave him a lift to that one. Kane, shoot. Oh my goodness. Wow.
That was it right there.
It hit who hit the bar for that? Kane that hit it against the bar. Oh, who's that hit the bar? Who's that? Oh, is it good? Oh, so Riley, okay. And then Kane put, oh man, he skied it.
Brother, I think this defines the point and addresses the point just made in the chat there with Mr. Lynn. I think the crazy thing about this World Cup is even with the expansions, you think there's going to be walkover games, but I don't think there's been a World Cup where there's been quite so many surprises so soon.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't think there's any such thing as an easy game at this tournament anymore, man. I really don't.
No, I mean, a lot of as much as we were saying that Ghana poor, they've got players who play again that play in Europe.
Yeah,
a lot of them play
absolutely.
abroad. They don't all play. None of them play in Ghana. They all play in. They all play in Europe. They all play their trade in the top European leagues. So they know what things are all about especially when playing against England. I mean, they got Semenyo in there and all that, but they know what England's all about. They know the
Yeah,
players. It's when you play Panama, when you play teams like Panama, then yeah, you know what to expect. You're just gonna you can get something out of that. But when it comes to this type of game, these teams, like you say, easy. I wouldn't say this is easy, but this is a game where I would say that England should be winning, even if it is just by a goal.
yeah,
Then but Ghana they've looked organised, they've looked comfortable, they've put their legs in there when they've had to. Their work rate is very, very high. They've not got tired. They've gone forward when it's the right time. They've in general they've looked very, very comfortable.
yeah. I mean, they're
Apart
not a
from
team
apart
that
from a couple of
I would
attempts
say have
there in the
looked
last,
outwardly aggressive, but I like
yeah,
the way they've approached this game.
yeah. They're still chasing the ball. See, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's
Good point,
space all over
Sean.
the pitch now. That there's space all over the pitch, but yeah, Ghana have gone straight back to what they were. They play for what they playing 4-3-3.
Yeah, I think they're 4-3-1-2, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. They're very, very organised. Very, very. Ooh, jeez. Okay. Ooh. You wouldn't expect Kane to finish Sky like that. The form that he's been in
I think
this
they're,
season,
they're
you'd
quite
expect.
content to see out a draw at this point. Any
Yeah.
will
Okay.
that was there,
Yeah.
I think, is gone. I think that they're just content to kind of hold it, get the ball out of play, let the clock run down. Like, I don't know offhand if there's any injury worries. I don't know if you've heard anything from the camp about if anyone's struggling, but the
Think,
drop off from the Croatia game to this one's been quite substantial, I would say,
yeah.
in terms of just, well, both pace and intention.
And everything. 6 was that 6 minutes? 6 minutes.
Well, we'll be in this sort of section where we're winding down. If anything breaks, we will let you know. But Deano, let everyone know that's listening in or watching, or when they get the chance to check us out, where they can find you if you want to keep this conversation going, guys.
Hey guys and girls. Yeah. So I am mainly covering. Well, I do cover NFL and football. So, but my platforms are on TikTok and on here and on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Deano, Away Days. Daze, it's spelled Daze, and it is Away Day Sports again on TikTok as well. I do also have Instagram and a Facebook group page as well, under the same name of Away Day Sports. So yeah, do follow me when you can.
Great, man. As I say, I will make sure that I share this out to all my peeps, because as I say, we're pushing into a lot of good business this season. As you know, Des and I, the Scottish Falcons, we were looking to expand into a lot more shows. So we are taking over as the heads of AFN International now. And this lovely gentleman to my right is going to be our newest co-host. And as you see, he's already been showing he's keen and he's chomping at the bit to get in the hours with us. So thrilled to share the floor with you again, my guy. It's been a
No problem.
fun evening again.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And as I say, we've got a big one coming on Thursday as well with the Daniel Flick interview. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So yeah, it's going to be a fun week, man.
What time is that again? Let's round the reviews of that one.
Will be same time we kicked off tonight, so about 20 past 8, 8:30 on Thursday.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, corner. Well, if they're going to score, they're going to score now.
Mm-hmm. Push your big bodies in there. You only need one.
There's got. I mean, I look at who's on the pitch there now. There's goals all over the pitch, so one of them can get it.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, even then, I'd still look at it. Off the line. Jeez, good defense. Wow.
Ooh.
Good defending. Declan, do one of Arsenal corners.
Yeah, for a second. Oh.
They nearly scored from it as well. So
you got Rice on your Aka or something? You'd almost think he was an Arsenal man.
Well,
you're no bias on
put
this
them
channel.
ones in the back of the net. He's done it. Saka had one where they started lifting up. I thought, okay, you just play all of them.
Why not? What have you got to lose at this point?
At this point, was it 3 minutes? Was it 3 minutes now? So they go.
You never know. It just depends whether or not you want to leave it till Panama or not.
I mean, I always said that England will come out of this group. They shouldn't have any problems. To be fair, I mean, ironically, I thought the most hardest game for them would have been the first game. So even if they'd drawn against Croatia, let's look at. I mean, even if you look at it from that situation now, if we do what ifs, if they had drawn that game against Croatia, and then drawn this, then you'd have to. That's when there'd be situations with how Thomas Tuchel's picked the squad. Mm-hmm. In this game, Ghana have set out a game plan where they just said, we're going to snuffle this game out. That's been plain to see. And England haven't adapted to it. And the funny thing is, these players see that every single week in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Every single week, these teams that they'll come up against.
How the last game goes for this group, because obviously Ghana still have to play Croatia, and that's going to be an interesting game because they both play very disciplined at the back. So one goal may decide that one way or the other. I think it's going to be a close and competitive game.
I think that's going to be a close, and that's going to be I think that's going to be a very physical game as well.
Yeah, man. I
think both teams are going to be coming out all out for that one. I mean, Panama, I mean, even if them now, I mean, they've still got to play their game. So even if they got something out of their game, they managed to get something out of Croatia. Even that makes it even more interesting. So this is going to be another one of those tight groups.
Yeah. But that's what I love. I don't, from a fan perspective, I don't really want people to be running away with their groups. I want to see some wee shocks and some dark horses and really have some fun with it. Especially because, as I say, I've admitted to you many times, I took some years away from association football. So this is my first major tournament, and as I've said for a long time, even if I don't watch anything else, even if I'll miss the Champions League for years at a time, when the World Cup rolls around or the Euros or a big international, I will tend to catch it, and that's how I kind of catch up on what's been happening the last year or two since I last watched.
Yeah, the game's over now.
Yeah, definitely. The defense has been solid from beginning to end. I think Ghana came out here with a plan where we don't necessarily have to score if they don't score any. a point will do us, because obviously this, from the body language and the way that they played, it translates to me as they don't fear Croatia. They're going to come out all out and try to get the 3 points, because 3 points at this point would obviously get them through one way or another. They would go through as a third place at worst. So yeah, I think that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, the Ghana came out because look at the way they're happy with that draw.
Yeah, it's going to take more than this. If you want to have a long run and you want to see about football coming home, it's going to take more than this.
I think that's why a lot of the fans are not impressed with it. But I mean, you can take it in, from my point of view of being the neutral when it comes to these type of things. I'm just like, listen, you're still in the competition. There's teams which are actually out now after the 2 games. Yeah. You're not going to get knocked out. You got Panama in the next game, who really and truly should be winning anyway. But we've just said that about them being gone. We just said that about them being gone, didn't we? So it's just it's
that's the beauty of it, though, man. Like, yeah, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, but it keeps it fun for us doing the content. So I mean, it'll be the same when we come tomorrow. We're 90 minutes away. What happens between then and now? I mean, yes, we're playing the 5 times world champions, but at the same time, you can only play the team that's out there in front of you. So
that's exactly it.
Yeah, so shout out again to you, brother. And if you're game to join me tomorrow evening, we can bring home Scotland's group with the Scotland Brazil match if you're up for it.
Yeah, is it on the set? Yeah, I'll be good. I want to watch that game. I want to see how both teams will respond. I want to see how Scotland are going to play against them. I think that'll be a good game.
Yeah, man. I think if we're going to get into the last 32 at any rate, that's going to be a good measuring stick. Is playing a team of that caliber. It's going to be the best probably warm up that we could get, win, lose or draw. Because if assuming it's not too bad of a loss, and we still manage to sneak through, then obviously I feel like that's going to be a good sort of measuring stick and tempering rod, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to hang in the chat, I've got the wrestling show starting over on Mr. White Network straight after this. Just probably take a few minutes, get a hydration break myself and all that good things. But,
I'll be in the comments. You got on YouTube for it as well, going live?
Yeah, I'll send you the link, brother.
Send me the link. I'll come in the comments. Yeah.
Close this out, but before we do, I'm going to do what we always do in closing before we go out and remind you guys of how much you mean to us. Everyone that's listened in, even if you had to quit out and it was just a pop in to say hello, we appreciate it. As I say, come and follow us on all the social media. Now that I'm back on Instagram, help me to learn how it works again, because I'm a bit rusty and out of touch. But no, with all that being said, whether you're watching or listening, Clydeside, Stateside or worldwide, we thank you. And in closing, as always, we will do it the traditional way. So we'll close out by saying that we love our ATL. And there we go. If it does what I tell it to do and actually pops up on the screen, there we are. And before we wish you good night, Dirty Birds, and 3 Lions fanatics, we would remind you as always that whether you're north of the border or south, pain is international, but so is passion. And as such, we'll be back in the locker room to do it again for you real soon. Dean, thanks again, once again, brother, for joining me.
Brother.
And we'll catch up tomorrow.
Yeah, do, man.
Get that link over.
Take it easy, guys. Take care.
Peace.